Welcome, respected friends. We will study one chapter of Sri Yoga Vaashishtha Maharamayam, the third Utpatthi Prakaranam Leelopakhyanam, 44th Sarga. Chanting is done. We will study very interesting topic, important topic. Raja goes for the Yuddha, then the Leela and Saraswati Mata Samvada there, wherein to the Prashna of Leela, Mother Saraswati gives very beautiful, deep analysis and explanation to finally say that the Jagat from its Adhisthana Drishti should be seen, that it is Brahman only. From its own standpoint, Jagat can never be said as existing because independently it cannot exist. Can't be said as non existing because it is perceived and experienced. If you say it is real, then you are bound in samsara. If you say it is not there, not real, then you are seeing it. So, best is what? In both the existence of the Jagat, non existence of the Jagat. There is something other than it is eternally existing, that is Brahman. So, that Brahman as reality substratum always is there. Hold on to that. Then the Jagat also do Vyavahara, but not as independently existing, but only as Brahman. Take it as Brahman, then don't miss the Brahman. And take it as only Vyavaharika, don't give it beyond importance, then don't get lost in samsara. This is how Jnanis live in this seen Jagat. A great, fantastic knowledge with so much of Prashnottari. Saraswati Mata will explain. Let us try how much we can grasp it. You know, with everyday sittings and continuous, regular, sincere, serious, our intellectual little become subtler and purer. Purer we have to make it by our other sadhanas. But with that purity, when exposed to these shastras, it becomes little more subtler. As it becomes subtler, so that buddhi will be able to understand the subtler truths, subtler explanations that are given by the visionaries, the rishis, the saints. What finally they say is Brahman alone is real. What we is seeing is up to seeing level only it is real. Ultimately it is not real. And in our morning class today, so beautifully we saw in our Shvetashvatara Upanishad, little bit in Gita also. What is that? Asatya, Mithya, Paramarthika Satya. So the Paramarthika Satya is only Parabrahman. Vyavaharika Satya is Jagat. That's it. It is ultimately not Satya. See, these things, when contemplated, slowly reveal what is meant by the rishis by these sentences. May that certainty come to us very soon. May we get the exact knowledge what is to be gained. All this is Siddhanta Jnana. Again, through the Bahya Abhyantara Sadhana, the Adhisthana Brahma Anubhuti when gained, then all these questions, Siddhyante Sarva Samshayaha, get sorted out. Must hai wo wala jivan. But to be able to do the sadhana, Brahma Satyatva has to be accepted. Jagat Mithyatva, Jagat Bandhana Karanatva has to be understood. Because it is Bandhana Karana and Mithya, we should not involve in it. That's called Vivekajanya Vairagya. With that Vairagya, the mind is no more entertaining the world. Then only the mind can focus steadily, understand, contemplate, meditate, realize the Paramarthika Vastu. Okay, let us see. Om, 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 Om सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ॐ यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वम् ॐ श्रीराम राम रामेति ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्तब्रह्मभक्तियोगधर्म विद्या आचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो अस्मत् गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रीरामचंद्र परब्रह्मणे नमः। श्री वशिष्ठ विश्वामित्र वाल्मीकि वेदव्यास वामदेव नारदादि समस्त योग वासिष्ठ महारामायणादि शास्त्राणाम् आचार्येभ्यो नमः। संकल्पः तेषां सर्वेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषद योग वासिष्ठ महारामायणोक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधेन अस्मिन् क्षणे एव मोक्ष कैवल्य प्राप्त्यर्थं श्रुति स्मृति पुराण इतिहास संतवांग्मयोक्त साध्य साधनानुभव सिद्ध्यर्थम तत्रोक्त ऋषि मुनि गुरु देवता दर्शनानुग्रह अनुभव प्राप्त्यर्थम सनातन धर्म से विश्वव्याप्ति विश्व आध्यात्मिक प्रगत्यर्थम धर्म संस्थापकानां नित्य निरंतर दिग्विजयार्थम श्रीराम मंदिरवत् शिव कृष्णादि मंदिरादीनां पुनरवाप्ति तेषु निरंतर शास्त्र अध्ययनादीनां द्वारा भारतवर्षस्य सनातनधर्मस्य बाह्याभ्यन्तरशत्रुविघ्न शाश्वत समूल निर्मूलन पूर्वक भारतवर्षे विश्वे च अस्मात् क्षणादारभ्य वैदिक हैन्दव संस्कृतेः धर्ममोक्षपुरुषार्थानां सुसंप्रतिष्ठा अवाप्त्यर्थम् अस्यां कक्षायाम् आगतानां सङ्कल्पितसत्कर्मसु दिग्विजयः तेषां हृदये परब्रह्मादीनां प्रति भक्त्यादीनां द्वारा जन्मसाफल्यार्थम् अनेक शास्त्राणाम् अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मध्ये श्री वाल्मीकि महर्षि विरचित श्रीराम वशिष्ठ संवाद रूप श्री योग वासिष्ठ महारामायण स्मृति मोक्ष प्रकरण शास्त्रस्य पारायणम् अध्ययनं साधना प्रयत्न मोक्षार्थं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। मंगलाचरण श्लोकाः। ओम यतः सर्वाणि भूतानि प्रतिभान्ति स्थितानि च यत्रैवोपशमं यान्ति तस्मै सत्यात्मने नमः। ज्ञाता ज्ञानं तथा ज्ञेयं द्रष्टा दर्शनदृश्यभूः कर्ता हेतुः क्रिया यस्मात् तस्मै ज्ञप्त्यात्मने नमः। स्फुरन्ति सीकरा यस्मात् आनन्दस्याम्बरेवनौ सर्वेषां जीवनं तस्मै ब्रह्मानन्दात्मने नमः। दिवि भूमौ तथा आकाशे बहिरन्तश्च मे विभुः यो विभात्यवभासात्मा तस्मै सर्वात्मने नमः। सत्यं ज्ञानमनन्तमेकमजरं नित्यं विभुं शाश्वतं प्रत्यग्ब्रह्मरसायनं सुखगनं पूर्णं परं पावनं स्वात्मज्योतिरनादिमध्यनिधनं मायाविलासैर्मुहुः विश्वाकारमपास्तमायमभयं वन्दे विशुद्धं पदं। ज्ञानादेवात्मनो मोक्षः न तु कर्मसमाधिभिः अज्ञातोऽसौ स्वसदृश्यं सृजत्येवेति कीर्त्यते। तस्मै श्रीगुरवे वसिष्ठमुनये नित्यं नमस्कुर्महे। विश्वामित्रमुनिं शरण्यमनघं भूयो नमस्याम्यहं। तस्मै वाल्मीकये श्री गुरुतमगुरवे भूरिभावैर्नताः स्मः। पूर्णानन्दस्वभावः स्वजनहितकृते माययोपात्तकायः कारुण्यादुद्दिदीर्षुर्जनमनवरतं मोहपङ्के निमग्नम् आविश्यान्तर्वसिष्ठं बहिरभिकलयन् शिष्यभावं वितेने यः संवादेन शास्त्रामृतजलधिममुं रामचन्द्रं प्रपद्ये। ओं श्रीरामचन्द्र परब्रह्मणे नमः। ओं श्री वशिष्ठादि ऋषिभ्यो नमः। श्री योग वासिष्ठ महारामायण शास्त्रं तृतीय उत्पत्ति प्रकरणं लीलोपाख्याने जगद्ब्रह्म वर्णनं नाम चतुश्चत्वारिंशः सर्गः। श्री वशिष्ठ उवाच। So in the 43rd verse, chapter Sarga, the entire Yuddha Ratri was described. The enemies, their attack with various weapons and they burning the entire city town. The Sainya coming and telling the Raja In the meantime, in that Antapura, Lila, Saraswati Mata also were there, and the Mantri, all of them see through the window the terrible scene that is happening in the whole Rajya. Then the people mutually talking about the situation, all of that the Raja was listening. And Vasishthaji explained the entire thing so that nothing remains hidden from the information for the mind. That in the Bhautika Kalpanika Jagata, because of the Kalpana, because of the Sankalpas, because of the various karmas of individual and samashti jivas, so many things, though not happening, can yet happen and can give variety of dukkha, sukhas, everything. Even they also are at the upadhi level. Upadhi is being kalpita, even though sukha dukkha also are kalpita. In short, other than adhisthana Brahman, everything else is kalpita only. Having seen that scene, now in this 44th Sarga, which in our last class have chanted it, so we'll not chant it straight away, we'll study. Om atha agnidaha ratri yuddhe jagat brahma varnanam Shri Vasishtha uvacha. 44th Sarga. Vasishtha ji is telling to Sri Rama, Lakshmana Bharata Shatrugna were there, Dasharat ji was there, Kausalya Sumitra Kaikai, Vyasadi rishis, Naradadi rishis. So all the rishis who are in the Akasha, Siddhas of different loka, and also who are on the Bhuchara, Bhuchara, Navaschara, all were there. Big number there on the suggestion of Valmiki ji, Vishwamitra ji. Vasishtha ji is teaching Sri Rama that Brahma Vidya which he got from his father Guru Brahmadeva. Sakshat Brahmadeva taught this ज्ञानम to the वशिष्ठ जी एंड विश्वामित्र जी. विश्वामित्र जी ने कहा तो वशिष्ठ जी अभी उनको पढ़ा रहे हैं. ठीक है. वशिष्ठ उवाच. नौ एतस्मिन् अंतरे राजमहिषी मत्तयौवना तद्विवेश गृहं लक्ष्मीः इव पङ्कजकोटरम् आलोलमाल्यवसना भिन्नहारलताकुला अनुयाता वयस्याभिर्दासीभिर्भयविह्वला चन्द्राननावदाताङ्गी श्वास उत्कम्पिपयोधरा तारकाकारदशना स्थिता द्यौरिवरूपिणी. So, etasmin antare, when these were all watching from the windows, terrible things that are happening, listening to the words of the praja and other people, etasmin antare, in the meanwhile, in the meantime, Raja Mahishi. See, this Raja, Vidurata's wife, Mukhya Rani, Raja Mahishi, and a Maharani, Matta Yovana, which who was in her full youthhood. Tad Gruham Vivesha. She entered into that Raja's Antapura palace. Lakshmi Iva Pankaja Kotaram. Like the Lakshmi Devi entered the lotus into that. So too, it's lotus like Sri Raja's. This Antapura in that his bedroom. To her into that she entered. Who is wife? Raja Mahishi, wife. Alola Malya Vasana. All are Malya, the Abharanas, and Vasana, the clothes. Alola were not decorated, well dressed like when go for a party, etc. They were little bit disturbed. Running aa rahi hai. So Alolya Mala Vasana. Then Bhinna Hara. All our haras also, the mala, pushpa mala, vagera, were broken or shattered or disturbed. Lata Akula. She is like Binnahara Lata Akula. Lata is the creeper Akula which is disturbed. Like a creeper which is disturbed. Or her all the hara, all her abhushanas, even the vastras to some extent. Anuyata Vayasyavihi Dasivihi. Anuyata, she was followed by Vayasyavihi Dasivihi. The young, her own aged Dasis also came behind her running. Bhaya Vihvala. She was so much Vihala, distressed, terrified with the Bhaya, the fear. So Bhayatrasta Vastra Malya Abhushana disturbed way. Rani came running inside, followed by all her dasis also. Chandranana, her face was like as beautiful as Chandrama. Then Avadata Angi, every of her Sharira is so beautiful. Shwasa Utkampi Payodhara, so much Uchvasa and Ishvasa she was taking that all her chest and was so much of Kampita. दौड़ के आते तो ऐसा होता है ना. Then Taraka Akara Dashana, her teeth were as whitish as the Taraka, like the stars only. Sthita Dyauhu Iva Rupini. She is came, stood there like the Akasha stand still Nischala Rupena. So the space only entered into this hall with the form taken. She entered. So the Rajamahishi, Rajapatni, Maharani. Atha अथ वयस्यैका राजानं तं व्यजिज्ञपत् भूतसङ्ग्रामसंरब्धम् अमरेन्द्रमिवाप्सराः अथ having entered तस्याः वयस्या eka, one of her vayasya dasi, one of her who followed her, one of them, Rajanam tam, to that Raja, Vijignya Patu, she told to the Raja, explained to the Raja. All the details. What are the details? Bhuta Sangrama Samrabdham. So, Bhuta Sangrama Samrabdham, the terrible Sangrama of the beings of their own kingdom and the Shatrus who have come. That Rani started narrating this, not Rani, the Dasi started telling that to Raja. Amarendra Apsaraha, like when the Amarendra, Indra, seated in his Indra Bhavana, Amaravati, how the Apsaras or Sainikas come running to tell if at all any of the Bhutas, Rakshasas attack the Amaravati, Indra Rajadhani. So that was a description. So she started narrating. Dasi Deva Devi Sahasmabihi Palayantah Purantarat Sharanam Deva Mayata Vatarte Valata Drumam Deva, O Lord. She is telling the king Devi, this your wife and our queen Devi, Sahasmabihi, along with all of us, Palayanti, Palayanta, Palaya, having ran away from where? Antapura Antarat. From her own personal Antapura, running away from there. Devi and all of us came here. Sharanam Devam Ayata. Came surrendering to you. तुम्हारे शरण में हम सब दौड़कर आए. ये रानी उस अंतरपुर से दौड़कर आई है. वातार्ता इव लता ध्रुवम. Like the creeper holds on to the druma. Lata holds on to the druma when vata artha, when terrible winds blow to protect herself, just like the creeper holds on to the tree. Coming to you, Sharanagata, she came along with us, we came along with her to you. So, Deva, Devi, Saha, Asmavihi, Palaya, Antapura, Antaratu, Sharanam, Devam, Ayata, Vata, Artha, Iva, Lata, Drumam. So, she came to surrender to you. Then what happened? The whole thing. Already the people were talking outside about the general Raja. Raja heard exactly what happened in the Antapurana Pura to his all. Many wives he had to all of them. Rajan दारावृतास्तास्ते बलवद्भिरुदायुधैः ऊर्मिजालैर्महाब्धीनां धीरद्रुमलता इव हे राजन् दाराः हृताः ताः ते ताः दाराः हृताः. All those your other wives were hrutaha, or kidnapped only. Who by whom balavadbihi ut ayudaihi, with a terrible, powerful, armored and weaponed all the shatrus. They have come and kidnapped your all wives. Urmijalair mahabdhinam, like the big oceans, big waves and those tides. Tira drumalata iva, in the tira the banks druma lata. whatever the trees and creepers are there at the banks of the river during floods time or of the ocean during the depressional or cyclonic time. As they destroy the trees and creepers, so too these your wives were attacked and kidnapped by these very powerful Shatrus with the terrible Aidhas they had. This is one of the big things. Thank God India is doing now, continuously pouring money, budget for strengthening our defense system. Because of the lack of this only, not focusing on that, every time in last 2080 or 1600 years, we were slaves to every Dushta Rakshasa attacking us. मैं तो कहता हूँ every Hindu should have talwar and pistol so that anybody comes to convert them or compel them. Finish, that's it. Because nobody is protecting us. You know, very, very painful, different situation we are in our own country. अपने घर में हम ही कैद है ऐसे है. You know, that has to be given. Otherwise, the others think we are weak. And we are weak also. See, every time you think, how come the people coming from other countries, for beggary they came, for trade they came, for money, and slowly seeing our weakness, our, goodness as weakness, started occupying one by one, and for hundreds and thousands years they ruled us, they enslaved us, they looted us, they killed us, they plundered us, they molested us. How it happened, you see? Is it not because of lack of this strength, the power, and the weapons, etc.? And all the time, the countries in America never allowed us to have the nuclear weapons only, frightening us. Thanks to this great Prime Minister and President that time, they just, rejected all their things and started having. The present government तो इतना इतना कर रही है. मैं तो कहता हूँ in every district and town of India, there should be bombers and there should be such things kept. So that from anywhere any attack comes. Luckily, unfortunately, all our outer enemies are afraid of us. Now they respect. But the inner enemies are there, no, who are now silent there, but in silence only they are doing so much. Both to the country, why not? Singing the song of the country, though eating the food and drinking the water and inhaling the air of this country. But they are attacking the Dharma, Sanatana Dharma. What the way the women folk can protect themselves? Give them weapons. There's no way. मैं कहता हूँ होना चाहिए बस. Then only the shatrus or people who are thinking of negative at least can think twice before. Now though, they have no fear at all. For them, Hindus means like any animal only, which can be easily attacked and killed. Sanatana Dharma. Bhayankar hai. I don't agree to this. Let every Hindu learn all martial arts, all weaponry, get the licensed things. Because it's a question of protection, self survival. So here, these people have attacked with all the Aidhas. So Rajan, Dara, Ahrutate, Balavadbir, Udayudaihi. On the gun point, they have kidnapped them. Then Urmijalair Mahabdhinam, Tira Drumalataiva, like the trees and creepers at the banks, are taken away by the big Urmijala of the Mahasamudra. Then what happened to the Antapura protecting force? They are there now, some of the soldiers and all. Antapura Adipaha Sarve Pishtaha Shatrubhir Uddhataihi Ashankitaabhipatitair Vatairiva Paradrumaha. So Antapura Adipaha Sarve. All the protecting force of the Antapura, Pishtaha, they were powdered and pounded only. Shatrubihi Uddhataihi, with the powerful Shatrus who attacked in well planned manner with terrible ayudas. See that again. Is not the country, should not the country be always aware of the army and whatever the neighboring countries as enemies are doing? See in this northeast में 7-6 साल पहले, how much China was putting all its army. Threatening, frightening India so much. India made railway tracks, airports, tunnels, and colonies and deployed 50,000 of the army there with so many of the things. अब वो लोग शांत हो गए देखो. Our country present government is doing wonders. Right time we have selected them, gave the power. अभी तक तो otherwise India, अमेरिका, पाकिस्तान, चाइना को बिक जाता. Internally also सर्वनाश हो जाता in this last 14 years. It is a fact. 12, 13 years. Very important it is. And the thing is, ki ashankita apatitai. Ashankita abhipata means we never had a expectation or doubt that somebody will attack us. These were inadvertent. They never expected. Which is absurd, which a army, a country protecting defense system can never say to justify. You can never afford to be inadvertent. That's all. Much before the enemy even thinks about planning to attack, our intelligence system should know it. थैंक गॉड आज भी एक बड़ा लीडर को टोक दिया पाकिस्तान में. जिसने भी टोका, जो भी टोक रहा है, वी आर नॉट टोकिंग, वी नीड नॉट. They are definitely enemies to India. They attack with terrorists and all, but they internally also have so many fightings, so many differences, so many quarrels, so many enemies. Those Pakistani terrorists groups inimical to each other only. They kill each other, they molest each other, they loot each other. उनके ही not only India, 100 their own shatrus they have. Because they are not a matured महाज्ञानी, no टेररिस्ट है, फिर उनके बीच में भी फिर वो लड़ाइयाँ होते हैं. देवर इसने उसको कहीं किया होगा, फिर वो ठोक देगा. वही हो रहा है आजकल. People think the Indian army and RAW is doing, not required. They are doing it to themselves. They have plenty of enemies. Their own mutual. Good. यही our प्रार्थना from last some years, months. Let them fight mutually and finish each other. Both dushtas. Like the Advaita Vedanta allows the Dvaitins to fight with each other and destroy. Then Advaita prevails. Same way, our country and Dharma. But Ashankitaihi, we were never expecting, they suddenly attacked. Ashankita Abhipatitaihi. So that cannot be. You want, as a protecting soldier, एक मिनट भी inadvertent नहीं होना. Nobody. Total central government, state government, every department cannot afford to. That's why central government servant means 24 घंटे. You cannot. All the time you have to be aware, especially such forces. You may have 3 or 4 shifts of people, but the country protecting force must always be alert. ये कह रही है कि हमको शंका ही नहीं हुआ था वो कि अटैक करेंगे. Suddenly they attacked. Ashankita abhipatyahi vatayiriva varadrumaha, like the heavy winds blow that the trees doesn't know. When the wind blows, the trees can't withstand. From the roots they get uprooted, so many. So our Antapura Adipaha survey, the Antapura protecting all soldiers or ministers or elders, they were all also Pishtaha, चकनाचूर किए गए हैं शत्रुभिः by the enemies. Oh, India is strong now, but Sanatana Dharmins have to become strong. I tell you all, Hindu rich people provide thousands of Vyayam Shalas only for the Hindus to learn all the physical protecting strengths. ये लोग इतने पतले दुबले कुछ खाते ही नहीं है, एक्सरसाइज करते नहीं है, उफ करे तो उड़ जाए, like that are they. And also I recommend to you the rich Hindus start colleges, universities, institutions wherein everything related to the worldly are taught along with the Sanatan Dharma. Why Banaras Hindu University should be only in Banaras? Every gully में एक होना चाहिए. Schools, colleges and all which teach the glory of Sanatan Dharma. है ना? 1, 2 were teaching like Shishu Mandirs, etc. Nobody is caring them. Slowly they are dwindling away. These Shishu Mandirs or the schools started in its true sense by such spiritual organizations. The students coming out of them are such great, disciplined, patriotic, hard-working, spiritual people. They are. That's the only place where the dharma, the desha, the sanatana dharma, the mata pitru bhakti, they are all taught. If we don't encourage those schools, colleges, only encourage the convents or the highly technical, etc., then dharma cannot be taught. No, I'm just sending these thoughts in the air. Somebody will catch them. Someone who is tuned to that, who is capable of it. Because people are capable without getting ideas. There are people having ideas without capacities. We belong to the second category. We have ideas, no capacities. So we send the ideas, somebody will catch them. This point that she says, all Antapura Adipas were made into powder by those Shatrus because they never imagined that the enemies will attack. Like the big trees never imagine that tufani winds will attack. They are झूमते हैं अपने मस्ती में. The wind was so strong that the trees were uprooted. This is not a justification. It cannot be used like that. Justification. Isn't it? We cannot justify being weak, being inadvertent. Isn't it? Alert. Never be happy that you made Ram Mandir. Be alert because Shatrus are always ready to do anything to it. Never be happy, or contented or inadvertent or relaxed about anything of the Indian country. Because enemies, internal enemies, outer लोग तो डरते हैं because everywhere our equipments are ready there. बटन दबाओ कहीं भी हम उखाड़ सकते. Internal enemies. Our country always troubled, suffered mainly by the internal enemies. The so-called outer enemies were given strength by the inner enemies only, no? This Raja giving secrets of this Raja to those Mughals, those Britishers. That's how India was destroyed always. Not by the outer. Outer people become strong because of inner support. And in general, let us say Jallianwala Bagh, 3,000 people were massacred. Who were the ones who shot, who killed, or who bullet? Hindus only, no. They are Indians only. In that एक गधे को भी thought आया कि instead of killing our Hindus इस डायर सा उसको मार दें, वो पूरा जलियांवाला बाग होता ही नहीं था ना. One fellow, if we had to shoot that rascal, it would have not happened. Like that, we are all mesmerized we are all in myopia, a type of Hindus. And to add to that are people like me, like us, not me. That we teach only Brahma Vidya as if only that is. Yeah, Brahma Vidya is inside. Outside the protecting Vidya also you have to teach. The Sanatana Samrakshana Vidyas. If the great gurus like the Vivekanandas, the Ramana Maharshis, the Chinmayanandas, along with Brahma Vidya teaching, equally forcefully, if we had empowered the Hindus in protecting the Dharma also, all these things would have never happened. Only halfway we are teaching as Hindu saints. ब्रह्म ज्ञान से होता है वो अंदर की बात है बट तुम बाहर पहले जिंदा हो तो तब अंदर की बात ना. We have to balance both. Didn't Rama balance both? That inside he gave Ramagita Brahma Jnana, outside he finished all Rakshasas. Didn't Krishna balance both? Inside he gave Bhagavad Gita Jnana and Jnana to Udva, and outside finished so many Rakshasas. Isn't it? The Vasishthas, Vishwamitras. Inside they gave Brahma Jnana, outside they gave that Shakti to Rama and all, made the Rakshasas finished. This is an eternal job. Even now, every Hindu Sanatana Dharmi Guru should teach Brahma Vidya inside, which is ultimate goal. Same time, the outer thing also to protect oneself, that also has to be taught. Like the Chinese martial arts. They teach all martial arts and they teach the spirituality also. With the martial arts, they go on defending their country. With the spiritual teachings, they evolve spiritually. We on the name of spirituality, ना spirituality कुछ कर सकते हैं और इतने निकम्मा हो गए and call ourselves sadhu and all. These are sadhu, ये तो बुजदिल है वो. That somebody is telling you, your family members, your women, your children, and your temples and all, you are keeping quiet. Go and attack, finish them. Let us see what the legal system will say. वो बात की बात. They do like that only, other Rakshasas. They say first let us attack and finish, let us see क्या होगा बाद में. And we are afraid only in the beginning about the consequence. क्या होगा, let us see. Hindus are the most weakened people. By all these, on the name of spirituality also we are weakened. Okay, if the spiritual sadhanas, if you do with all strength, all the intensity, then you have some yoga shaktis. At least gain them. With that, to protect the nation and dharma. अब वो भी नहीं, उसमें अधूरा है. भोगी, निद्रालु and डरपोक and superficial spirituality. What is पूरा एक जाति ऐसा बन गया. Everyone now has to wake up from that slumber and stupor and misguidance. How? Isn't it? We have to understand the thing in the highest perspective. Yes, we have to. Ultimate is Brahma Vidya, no doubt. Don't compromise with it. But according to the timings, according to the requirement, we have to tell the other required things also. Just like while teaching Brahma Vidya, the Viveka, Vairagya, Shamadamadi are taught or not. They are not there in Shuddha Brahma, but they are required, to be taught because they are the ones which give us qualification. In the same way, little more outside, the self-protecting things are also required. Narayana. So, this point that we were not alert, inadvertent, they have attacked us is not justifiable. Antapura dipaha sarve pishtaha shatruvihi uddhataihi asankita avipatitaihi vatairiva varadrumaha. You can never justify that we were not alert, we never expected. तब तक तो नाश तो हो गया ना. After the destruction, anything you say is non-justifiable. है ना? Prevention करना ही पड़ेगा, that's it. Waiting 500 years, then building Ram Mandira, then celebrating. All is an insult only. First of all, how did the Ram Mandira get broken? Learn from it, it should never happen again. Some 30, 40 thousands of temples, how they are broken? एक टेम्पल पे कोई आंख देखता है अभी, उसका आंख फोड़ देना है अभी पहले. Unless you are so strong, you will always be in majority but conquered by the minority. What's the use of being in majority when defeated by, ruled by minority? It is the wrong thing. Philosophy गलत है बस. First protect yourself and your dharma. For that anybody finish first of all. उसके बाद देखते. बाहर शत्रु अटैक करे, तुम घर में बैठ के खाना कैसे खाते हो? How will you watch TV when the enemies are attacked? First finish them, then even then don't watch TV because you can't be inadvertent. Anyway, दूरेणा शङ्कमायातैः वरैर्नः पुरमाहृतं परैर्न पुरमाहृतं रात्रौ वर्षा शिवोद्घोषैः कमलानीव वारिभिः. दूरैः, from long distance they came. Ashankam, without our doubt. Ayataihi, they came. Paraihi, by those who came, the Shatrus. Nahapuram, our town was. Ahrutam is totally attacked and वो लोगों ने कब्जा कर ली. Example, Ratro Varshasu. The rainy season at night time, heavy rains came. Udghoshaihi, with terrible sound, the rains coming at night time. What did they do? In the entire ponds, etc., whatever the Kamala, the lotuses are there, totally we destroyed. तो अब शाम को देखे थे, so many lotus buds in that beautiful pond. With so much joy you went going to sleep thinking that सुबह sunlight होगा, all those beautiful birds will be blossoming, the pond is so beautiful, take those flowers and use them for your puja upasana. With that thing you slept. At night heavy terrible rains came. सुबह उठ के देखा, not even one lotus, all in that flow of the rainy waters were totally flooded away. Example. In the same way, from far off distance, these enemies came and then have attacked our country. Puram ahrutam, अपने कब्जे में ले ली. मर जाओ लेकिन कब्जे में मत आना. मरने से पहले एक को मार, दो को मार. So this is the biggest problem. Even it is health aspect, we are not aware. ऐसे जीते जाते हैं, पता नहीं करते हैं कि क्या हो रहा है शरीर में, क्या खा रहा हूँ वगैरह. Finance aspect also lazy we are. Friends, relatives aspects we are lazy. The worst laziness in us is regarding our own children, grandchildren. वो किस रोग किस मार्ग में जा रहे हैं, क्या गलत कर रहे हैं. हम we are not alert, only aware. है ना. You cannot let children lose. Even if you are 70 children or 50, still you have to take them to confidence and ask. उस समय स्पिरिचुअलिटी कर रहे हो कि नहीं वो पूछना है. वो करेगा तो बचेगा वो, नहीं तो और कुछ करता जाएगा. And the grandchildren, we are not aware. And worst of it is our own dharma, desha. क्या हो रहा है हम नहीं देख रहे. Finally, our own spirituality. None of the things we are alert about. We are only sleeping. And this Dasi, who came with the Rani, telling the Raja with an example that the night floods have taken away the lotuses. So too from unknown far off distances they came and occupied our kingdom. दूरेण आशंकम आयातैहि परैहि नः पुरम आहृतम रात्रो वर्षासु इव उद्घोषैहि कमलानि इव वारिभिः. So उद्घोषैहि वारिभिः कमलानि रात्रो वर्षासु इव. वर्षा काल में रात में भयंकर शब्द से हुआ बारिश. Morning when you see takes away all the lotuses. So too धूमं वर्षद्भिरुन्नादैर्लेलिहानोग्रहेतिभिः वह्निभिर्नः पुरं प्राप्तं परयोधैश्च भूरिभिः. See, धूमं वर्षद्भिः उन्नादैः. The smoke going into the sky as clouds, along with the clouds, the smoke is raining down. Lelihana ugrahetivihi. And with terrible weapons of arrows and swords, they are brightly burning like the fire tongue only, tongue of the fire. You know, जीवा कहते हैं फायर के टंग को. वह्निभिः, with those fires, नः पुरम प्राप्तम, our pura was attacked by them. Parayodaihi bhurivihi. So many parayodhas, they brought the talwar and all of them, so blazing, and mashal वगैरह भी ले आए. One side they have burnt, all the sides they have burnt one thing. Other thing is, with these terrible weapons, they attacked also. जला भी दिया, फिर अपने अलग अलग आयुधों से they have attacked also. So धूमं वर्षद्भिः उन्नादैः लेलिहान उग्रहेतिभिः वह्निः न पुरं प्राप्तं परयोधैः च भूरिभिः. Big numbered, very powerful, well planned, lots of weapons, including the fire, torches, etc. Night, rato rat, they have attacked. So how much they were planning to attack. So they were alert about the weakness of this Raja and these people. So accordingly they planned Fakka, like India. Now थोड़ा कम हुआ पिछले एक आध महीने से. Before that, every 1 week, 10 days, कोई ना कोई टेररिस्ट. कहाँ से आ रहे हो, कैसे आ रहे? Of course, the Kashmir, half of it is supporting them only. थोड़ा कम हुआ होगा. We can't recognize there who is terrorist, who is Indian. परेशानियां देखो. All these done by the so-called leaders during the country division. Instead of sending every fellow from this country, जाना है तो सबको जाना है. Otherwise, we will not give the land. If that were decided, this fate would have not come now. Terrible it is. You have to be practical. You have to be strong. Oh, Krishna Vasudeva. The other day, the articles and all. Anyway, Dhumam Varsha. Then Parivarair Vilasinyo Devya Ahrutya Murthajaihi Akrandantyo balat nitaha kurarya iva dhivaraihi. See, parivaraihi vilasinyah devyah. You are all vilasini wives. So many he had. All of them murdhajaihi aharutya were held with the hair. Bhal pakad ke dhivarahi with those powerful enemies. Balat nitaha. Powerfully, terribly, they were holding the by head or hair, kidnapped them, took them away. Kuraryaha akrandantyaha, like that Kurari Pakshis, these women were making the akrandana, crying, bachao bachao karke, and these Rakshasas were taking them away. This is what happened to the Hindus in Pakistan, in Bangladesh, in Kashmir, and all. We are all sleepy to that. Thank God some freedom is given. Some movies are coming out once in a while to show it. I say so many charitras of attack of India's. No Babars, Akbars are great. They are all Bhayankara Rakshasas. They killed Hindus, they molested, they destroyed. I'm sure soon their stories also come out. They are the Dushta Rakshasa Leelas. Oh, no, you don't see in history they have done anything good for Hinduism. What can they do? We don't need it. They only destroyed. Thank God nowadays some permission is happening. Much more has to come out. Even in the present what's happening. उसको तुरंत वीडियो करके रिले करना है immediately shoot them away, that's it. Anybody anywhere trying to convert, immediately record it, prosecute and finish. First bring a law. Trying to convert is a crime, punishable up to capital punishment. Bring that law, that's it. So to the other ones. Unless the constitution is law is changed and made strong, or the other thing, let Hindus become terrorists, lakhs and crores of them. Do the same things what others are doing. Is only way then protect. If they do love jihad, let lakhs and crores of Hindus do the same. अब करें क्या फिर असमानता है तो फिर समानता लाने के लिए जो करना है करना पड़ेगा. If the laws are not strictly brought, then if it's a permission, let us do that. Isn't it? Otherwise, the mind is unstable, it is disturbed, you can't do sadhana. Every time there is fear, some or other bad news. It's terrible. It all is a call to us that your outer service is the inner sadhana now. Isn't it? Like in true spirituality, we have to think about the universal spiritual growth, then only individual also grows. Same way, for the spiritual growth, all the other negativities have to be arrested, eliminated. पक्का है वो. चेतना आना चाहिए अंदर के. सोया हुआ है सब लोग, हम हमारा खून मरा हुआ है. Added to that is our bhoga, our nidra, our attachments, our emotions, our sentiments. Every disease we have. Only Hindus. Then vilasinyaha murdajaihi ahrutya dhivaraihi balat nitaha kuraryaiva akrandantyaha. Like kurara pakshis, when they are caught in a net or snare, how they make akrandana dukkha shabda, caught up in that jala trying to come out. कैसे हो चिल्लाते पक्षियां. So that these your wives and other antapurna strees were by hair they were caught and taken away by these people. कितना भयंकर है देखो. इति नो ये मायाता शाखा प्रसर शालिनी अपत्ता आपत्ताम अलमुद्धर्तुम देवस्यैवास्ति शक्तता. Iti na u ya yam ayata. This is what's happening. This your main wife has came running. Shaka Prasara Shalini, who is again shaken like the branches of a tree when the wind heavily blows. And we all have come apattam alamuddhartum. And the remaining people and she and us to protect us from this apada. You are the only one, therefore we came to your Sharanagati. Devasya eva asti shaktata. You have the Shakti like the Devata, so that Devatas ki tarah, so you are the only one who can protect. So Raja Viduratha is good, powerful enough. So we have come here protect. So the Dasi was telling, then listening to this, Itya karnya avalokya asau devyau yuddhaya yamyataha kshamyatam mama bharyeyam vishpatpadabja shatpadi iti akarnya. This is what the Raja heard from those messengers. Avalokya asau devyau, looking at both these devis, Saraswati Mata and Leela. Yuddhaya yami, he told them, I have to go for the yuddha to protect my people. Ataha, therefore kshamyatam, please forgive me that I have to leave you in between. Mama bharya iyam, this is my bharya, whom you saw came running and all. Yushpat padabja shatpadi, she is the shatpadi, the bhavara of your lotus like feet means she will serve you, you protect her. So this is bharya, he handed over her to Leela and Saraswati. He went for the yuddha. Iti uktva, having said those, niryayau raja. Raja left that antapura, kopa arunita lochana. With so much anger, his eyes became red because his people were troubled, destroyed by those enemies. And he is moving out of this palace was like the lion coming out of the cave. Listening to the sound of that, the jungle, all those trees were destroyed by the elephants. When the elephants are destroying the jungle, listening that sound from the guha, the tiger or lion coming and attacking them. That's the example. Matta iva nirbhinna vanaha kandarat iva kesari. कंदरा से केसरी निकला वो हाथियों के द्वारा जो पेड़ टूटे जा रहे थे वो आवाज सुनकर टू अटैक एंड सेंड अवे दोस एलिफेंट्स. So these all rocks came, enemies are elephants. This Raja is the lion. He came out of the den now. The dawn came out of the den. He went for the Yuddha. Yuddha will happen. That will come in the next chapter. But from here onwards, the Shuddha Jagat Brahma Varnana Vedanta Jnana. Where it's how it starts, the funniest thing is कि this wife of Raja, जो दौड़कर आई ना, she by all her 100% looks, by all looks, exactly she is like Leela only. लीला wondered and worried, यार मैं जिंदा हूं, ये मेरे तरह से कैसी है? And by the time whatever the mantris, Sainya Dhyaksha, she saw Leela, they were all the same people who were there in that kingdom in another Brahmanda. They are all alive there. Only Raja is the one who did. She is still alive and other Sainya are alive. And like her is this Leela, and like the entire Sainya and all mantris, these mantris also same. Now she is confused. मरे हुए दोबारा जन्म लिए तो थोड़ा हम समझ सकते, मरे भी नहीं, देर आल्सो देर, these are also there. Which is real? Which is reflection? If it is reflection, it cannot have Chetana. What's this happening? Then the highest Vedanta, which like LKG student studying PhD books, we are just knowing only reading it. Maybe in our 20th attempt, we may understand it. That Brahman alone is real, as at one place, at one time, something is projected, itself is enough an evidence to say that like that, 100 places, 100 times, it can be projected. Water is real. When the wave is projected, means 1,000 waves can be projected of same magnitude, same type, same variety. एक घड़ा मटका मिट्टी से बना तो दूसरा भी बन सकता है, ऐसा ही वाला. And you see nowadays through molds, same things come out. Simultaneous. Therefore, what is the position of all these? Leela, the wife of this Viduratha, and this is called Prabuddha Leela, the awakened Leela, because she heard from mother and awakened to Siddhakash. What's the position of all the other mantris? Who are real? ये लोग हैं, वो लोग हैं. That is a big discussion. जो उपनिषदों का सार है, but उपनिषदों में only as a hint it is given. Deep analysis is not given. उपनिषद डायरेक्टली डील टू विद ब्रह्म विद्या, तुम ब्रह्म को जानो बाकी छोड़ो. बोल ऐसे टेक्स्ट बाकी का भी एक्सप्लेन करते हैं. which makes our intellect subtle and matured. Finally, to understand, accept that everything is mithya. Why everything, how everything is mithya is explained by these grantha. Without much explanation, minimum dekar, Brahma Satya hai, catch Brahman. That's what the Upanishads say. So this is the topic, very sublime. Oh, heavy shlokas they are. Let us see, thoda thoda padenge. Om Purnamadaha, बोल श्री रामचंद्र भगवान की जय, वशिष्ठ भगवान की जय, सब संतना की जय, सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय. Let us study Tulsi Ramayanam. Please come. Om.